Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is POB, and welcome to another episode of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Diamond is Unbreakable, Part 4. Um, the conclusion of the little Shigechi story, which not much happened this episode, so this is actually going to be a an easy video to make because there's not much to talk about. The episode starts off with the where it left off. Basically, the guys they find out that they have a winning lottery ticket. Shigechi does not feel like sharing. However, in the start of this episode, they straight up go to this bank where they want to cash the lotto ticket in, and they get interrogated by one of the bank workers, and he's just trying to find out like they didn't really win this ticket, right? And so it comes to the point where behind the lottery ticket there's actually a name and a phone number. The guy says, you know what, I'll call this guy up because I'm sure like if he wanted you guys to have the money, if he wanted you guys to have the ticket, then I'm sure he would have agreed with it. And as he's making the call, Josuke uses crazy diamonds to somehow, I guess, I didn't know he could do this, somehow change the like take away some of the letters, which I'm guessing he took away the ink, but that's more of Okuyasu's the hand ability, right? To erase certain things. Um, so that kind of like got me questioning Crazy Diamond's ability. But regardless, the guy tries to realizes then that the name is different, and he apologizes to the guy he was calling. He tries to call the new number and the new name, so to say. No one's picking up, so he's like, "All right, this is valid. Like, let's do this. You can pick up the money in 3 days." So as they're walking outside, like Okuyasu, Shigechi, and Josuke, they're talking about splitting the 5 million in two, and Shigechi's like legit not having any of that shit. He's like telling them like I'm not gonna give you shit, and Okuyasu gets frustrated because he like Shigechi's straight up telling him like you're not getting any of my money. Like I did all the work, and Okuyasu straight up punches him in the face. He gets like, is this really interesting moment because these are like the heroes, but at the same time, like Okuyasu bashing out in anger is understandable, but it's a little bit more of like less heroic thing. It's more of like a more of a moral aspect that we're talking about. It's not about saving the world or saving someone. It's about money, splitting money equally. So it's a little bit more slice to life, I would say, a little bit more um, a situation that would happen in a modern day, and not really something of a tale of a hero. So it's interesting to see this part of the story of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure story, and like Shigeshi, he's straight up pissed off, and he's like telling him like, "You guys are underestimating my harvest, and harvest we get to see harvest offensive offensive side, which means like legit using like it's a little bit scary because it's like having a bunch of bugs around you and like flesh eating bugs, and straight up ripping stuff out of your like meat out of your flesh. And some of them, because they have arms, like one of them straight up punches Okuyasu in the face, in the eye. um, so it's a very interesting thing. Like Shigechi manages to take the lottery ticket and run away with it. It comes to the point where they're on a rooftop, and like Okuyasu and Yosuke start feeling a little bit nauseous, and a little bit dizzy. And Shigechi informs them like, "Hey, while I was running away from you guys, like my harvest takes anything that I tell them to take, so I decided to take some alcohol and straight up like inject it into your blood directly. So you should be pretty fucked up by now." Um, so they have to think of something, and like Okuyasu straight up apologizes to Shigechi, tells him like, "Hey, like I'm sorry, my bad. Like here, as proof that I'm sorry, that money that we got from you earlier from the previous thing that we did, like here you can have it all of it back." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot, I gave you that money, right?" So he's trying to get closer and closer, and Josuke, at first he's not very aware of what's going on, but then he realizes like Okuyasu just wants to get him within the hand's range, and as Shigeshi finally gets closer, he understands like, oh shit, like no, you're trying to trick me, right? And he's like, too late. The hand, he uses the hand to delete space between him and the lottery ticket, which brings it over to Josuke. Josuke decides to fucking destroy the lottery ticket. He's like, listen, Crazy Diamond, he can fix this. Your harvest can't. And he throws all the rest of the tickets out. And Shigeshi straight up panics. He sends all his harvests everywhere to look for the little pieces of the lottery ticket. And that's an interesting battle tactic in a way, because he like from Josuke's side, because now that harvest is all like completely gone, like Shigeshi has nothing to protect him, which is dumb from his own side, like sending all of your defensive force out and leaving you bare boned. So Josuke comes in there. He's like, "Listen, your harvest is nowhere to be seen," and they straight up beat the crap out of him. Um, they try to make it very clear to him, like, "Listen, your harvest may get all the little pieces of the ticket, but my crazy diamond is the one that's gonna put him back together. So it's not just your stand that's doing all the work; it's also mine and Okuyasu for thinking about of the plan to get to actually, because it was Okuyasu's idea to check the garbage cans for like the winning lottery ticket, and it's kind of thanks to him that they're getting this money. So that happens. She starts to understand, like, yeah, it was actually the power of friendship. Um, it transitions over to the boys back in the bank receiving all the money, and they're dividing it by three, since it was technically a three way effort. And you get a little bit of a funny element where Shigechi starts to say, like, you know what? Technically, if we're doing this evenly, technically we should also divide them by the amount of stands that we have. So you and Okuyasu have each one, and I have like 500 of my harvest. So maybe I should get the biggest part. But like Okuyasu and Josuke aren't having none of it. They're about to beat the crap out of him. He's like, no, evenly. Pretty good. Overall, great episode. Can't complain too much. Um, so back to the three aspects that I enjoy talking about in every episode: the animation, the pacing, and the value to the overall plot. Animation, can't complain. Still really on point. Absolutely loved it. It's interesting to see the little bits of the switches in between like very serious, well animated like images, and then you get the really goofy, hilarious shots of like Okuyasu and Josuke just freaking crying and freaking out about getting all the money. Absolutely great pacing, well done. The episode flew by quite quickly, and this is something that I absolutely love about this animation, about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, is that some of the episodes just seem to fly by, and I kind of want them to sometimes go on a little bit more because they're so much fun and interesting. But sometimes they conclude well paced, and you're like, oh shit, it's the end of the episode. So pacing, can't complain. Excuse me. Value to the overall plot. There's not much other than, just like with the previous characters, we will this Shigechi will become just one of the commoners around the city of Morio. So that's kind of the only real progression that we actually get, because it was this episode and the previous episode were made more as a relaxing type of episode. So not much value to the overall plot. Regardless, fun episode. Can't wait to see next week. We're gonna get a little bit of a fairy tale story, so I'm looking forward to that. Definitely can't complain. I'm really looking forward to that. Actually, I still need to finish up my JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4 opening to in detail, like summary of the opening, because I'm working on it. But just a lot of things have happened by. I got into a little bit of an accident, so. Regardless, my name is YoPOV. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button down below. Comment down below what you thought of this episode. What do you think of Shigechi? He is not my personal favorite character in the series. Definitely was not in the anime, but I did enjoy this little arc, so to say. Tell me what you thought about it. Are you, if you are familiar with the manga, please no spoilers. But are you excited for next week? I personally kind of am. So, regardless, have a good weekend. Goodbye.